Welcome. Our topic is propositional formulas. In order to analyze this topic, we have got 4 questions. Question 1, formal language. Question 2, logical formulas. Question 3, language of propositional logic. And question 4, strings of symbols that are not formulas. Okay, let's start with the first question. Formal language. Here is a summary of the main notation and vocabulary used in propositional logic. You can see this vocabulary in the table. There are 5 English words here, and each of them is related to the special kind of logical connective. And it is related to conjunction, or means disjunction, if then it is related to the conditional, if and only if it is biconditional, and or not, it is related to the negation. And in the last column, you can see the symbols of each of these logical connectives. And we use these symbols to define a formal language, to represent the structures. You can think of a formal language in 2 ways. Firstly, a formal language is a special little language of its own. And secondly, it is a way of representing the form or shape of sentences in our everyday languages. And the formal language is made up of formulas. And our next question is logical formulas. How can we analyze this subtopic? We define the formulas of our language by starting with a collection of atoms. And our definition can be stated in the following way. A collection of atoms in some collection of symbols will use to build up formulas. We often use letters like P, Q, R, S, X, R3, S15, and so on as atoms. And once we have our atoms, our building blocks, we can use them to build up a language of formulas. And what is the atom here? An atom is something that is indivisible, and it is combination of 2 Greek parts, A plus atom, A plus tom. And etymology of this word means something which cannot be divided. Now, just like everyday atoms can be divided, we know that they are made of protons, neutrons, electrons. Our atoms in propositional logic perhaps can be divided too, but the important feature of atoms is that they have no formulas inside them. And our language of propositional logic, let's deepen our knowledge in this domain. And our definition, the language of propositional logic relative to a choice of a collection of atoms, is defined as follows. First, atoms are formulas. Second, if A is a formula, then so is negation A. 3. If A and B are formulas, then so are A and B, A or B, if A, then B, and A if only if B. Nothing else is a formula. And this grammar gives us rules to follow to generate formulas out of atoms. For example, if P, Q, and R are atoms, we can show that if negation P, then Q and R is a formula. Here is the construction process. First, P, Q, and R atoms, so by condition 1, they are formulas. And since P is a formula, by condition 2, not P is a formula too. Since Q and R are formulas, by condition 3, Q and R is a formula. Since not P and Q and R are formulas, by condition 3, if not P, then Q and R is a formula too. And strings of symbols that are not formulas, it means that we cannot use any strings of symbols which can can represent some formulas. It is not case. For example, we can use special sequence of symbols which cannot express formulas in itself. For example, we have got here three examples. Example 1, P, and we have used the symbol of negation after the P. And it is not a formula because whenever we add a negation to a formula, this symbol of negation occurs before a formula, not after it. For example, you can see here we have used negation, symbol of negation, and the A. And this symbol happened of we have used this symbol before the A, not after the A. But here you can see that our symbol of negation is used here after the P, therefore we cannot use this symbolic expression as a logical formula. And our example 2, it is we have used here two logical connectives and an of P and Q of R. And it is not a formula because whenever we add the symbol of conjunction and the symbol of disjunction to a formula, we add two parentheses, one left, one right. So a formula with one conjunction and one disjunction should contain 4 parentheses. But our example is missing a pair of parentheses. In this case, the missing parentheses really do make a difference. If we were to add them back in, we have two options. We can interpret this symbolic expression in two ways. Option 1, P and Q of R, which is a conjunction of P with Q or R. And option 2, P and Q of R, which is a disjunction of P and Q with R. And obviously these mean very different things. Therefore, we cannot use this symbolic expression as a logical formula. And our example 3, you can see here we have used 3 logical connectives by conditional, if and only if, conditional, if then, and negation. It only has 2 parentheses when it should have 4, but in this case it is the outermost pair that is missing. Therefore, there is no ambiguity in interpreting this string of symbols. However, adding the parentheses, we should write outermost parentheses 1 before the P and the another after the Q. If Q, then not R. But in any case, we can remember that it is possible to remove the outermost parentheses of each formula with no loss of or confusion. Okay, that's all for today's discussion. If you have got any questions, you can add these questions below. Thank you for watching.